Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to go over a little bit of the nomenclature of our zeroed suppressors. So for some of you that have been in the suppressor game for a while, this video really might not be relevant to you, but I'll tell you, starting in 2026 with that new change to the NFA, where we have a $0 tax, there are a whole slew of new customers, and we welcome you to the CMMG brand. So with that, we frequently get some questions that might seem kind of commonplace, but I'm just going to go ahead and start off with a very quick overview of what the nomenclature on our zeroed suppressors means, and then I'll dive into it a little bit more toward the end. So simply put, when you look at our suppressors, you're going to see zeroed being our zeroed line of suppressors, and then you're going to see a number. That number is going to be basically a caliber designation. So when you see 022, that is specifically for 22 long rifle, 22 Magnum, 17 HMR, things of that sort. So it's going to be a half 28 thread. It's going to thread right onto the end of the barrel, and that's your small rimfire cartridges. So from there, you're going to step up, and we're going to start seeing things like our center fire suppressors. And just to kind of go through these again fairly quick to start with, starting off, you're going to see the zeroed 5.56. Simply put, the zeroed 5.56 is a 22 caliber center fire rifle can, so more commonly seen in 5.56s. That's kind of what to think about when you see that. Next, you're going to see the zeroed 30. So the zeroed 30, simply put, 30 is a 30 caliber can. Your 308, your 300 blackouts, things of that sort, including 7.62 by 39, 7.62 by 51. So 030, 30 cal. Next, you're going to see the 036. Now, the 36 kind of confuses people a little bit because people aren't familiar with thinking about a 36 caliber projectile. Well, 36 caliber is going to cover everything that size and lower. So what a lot of people don't realize, 9mm is actually like 0.357 or 0.358. So it's actually just under 36 caliber. So your 9mm-ish cartridges are going to be in the zeroed 36. From there, we go to the zeroed 46. Well, you probably guessed it right. 46 is going to be 45-ish caliber configuration. So more popular with the 45 ACP, but you can also see things like 450 Bushmaster, 4570, 458 SOCOM, things of that sort. So that's just a quick look at the nomenclature on the suppressor itself as far as the calibers go. So 22 is 22 long rifle. 5.56 is 22 caliber center fire rifle, like 5.56. The 030 is 30 caliber, 36 caliber, and 46 is 46 caliber. So diving into the next stage of nomenclature, you're also going to see K at the end of some of these. So K is just kind of an abbreviation or a short version of the German word Kurz, which means short. So when you look at one of our suppressors here, you're going to see that a standard size is going to be 6.5 inches in length. The K version is going to be 5.5 inches in length, and where you're getting the difference there is you are going to lose 2 of the baffles here. So you're going to lose 1 inch, which is going to reduce it by 2 baffles. So when you're looking at our suppressors, if it doesn't have the K at the end, it's a full size. If it has the K at the end, it's a little bit shorter and a couple less baffles. So that's just getting that stuff out of the way. All right, now if you're still with me, I can dive into this a little bit more. So with these different numbers, we designed these to be really a good complement to our AR style platforms. So we really kind of focused a lot on AR style platforms, and we focused on calibers that we already produce. They just happen to have a lot of other calibers that you can use with them. So this is going to be nowhere even close to scratching the surface of different caliber compatibilities, but I will kind of go over at least calibers that we make that will go in all these calibers or these suppressors so that you'll know kind of what to be looking for here. And then you can also use the chart on our zeroed suppressors page on our website to also see cross compatibility. So when you start out with the 5.56, like I said, you're typically going to think of 5.56, 223, 223 wild, 22 250, various 22 caliber move fast rounds. When you go to the 030, as far as our offerings, you're going to see the 300 blackout, 308, 762 by 39 in the Mark 47. And the nice thing is, as we go up, these are also going to be backwards compatible. So if you have a 300 blackout and a 556, something like a 030 would be a good kind of one size fits all can that you can use on both calibers. But just keep in mind though, when you do that, when you go to, make sure I have the right suppressor here in my hand, I do. When you see the 30 cal opening compared to the 556 opening, you're seeing larger bore diameter. With larger bore diameter on a smaller projectile, you're not going to get quite the suppression that you could be getting. So you are gaining the the ability to have a multi-use suppressor, but you're not getting the best suppression you could on the smaller calibers. Moving on up, looking at the 036. So the 36, we have a 9mm, we have 350 Legend. So this is going to work great on both of those. And again, comparable calibers. So if you have a 357 Magnum lever action or a 38 Special lever action, this is going to be a great complement to it. And just like I said with the 30 cal, things that are smaller in diameter will also still work on here. But since you're going to a larger bore, you're going to possibly lose even more suppression with those smaller diameter rounds. And then when we go to the 046, that's going to be primarily for us 45 ACP, but we used to make a 458 SOCOM. Some people still do 450 Bushmaster, there's 4570s. There's all that fun stuff that you can put the suppressor on. So just kind of use that as a reference, look at the pressures of the rounds you're doing and the caliber, and just make sure you get one lined up. And again, when you go larger diameter, yeah, it's awesome that you have a multi-use suppressor, but you're not going to get the suppression that you could. If you're just looking at really single use case, like if you have a 300 blackout and that's what you really want to have it be suppressed, I would highly suggest just doing a 030 in that case. Don't worry about what it's going to do on your 556. Don't worry about it not being able to run a 9. It's going to make your 300 blackout be suppressed as good as it can. So that was just a quick look at the nomenclature of our zeroed suppressors. So I hope it helped you guys out. Again, with a lot of you new buyers out there, I hope it really helped you understand that a little bit more. So we have the 4 centerfire cartridges, we have the 22 size, and then we have standard size and K. So guys, thanks for joining me today. And as always, stay safe out there.